Hey girls, it's Bree.
It's Cece.
It's Angela.
And you're tuned into
For the Girls.
Today we are helping a sister out to figure out how do you communicate with your man to initiate sex more. But before we jump into that, I want to read a review from our YouTube. Jessica Sanders says, I love Couch Talk with the ladies. Can't tell you how much I love these episodes. They have been so helpful with all of the life changes I've gone through lately. Trying to use all these changes, there we go, to become a better version of myself. And you ladies have been a huge part of that. So thank you so much.
Oh, Jessica.
I love it.
Thanks, Jess.
Take your time, Jessica. Implement them in phases. Don't try to do it all at once and give yourself grace and love.
Yes, yes.
Good, Cece. Excellent.
Did Dre scare anybody else?
Sorry.
Dre is in the corner watching the game, y'all, and he just went.
My reaction, because I was like, what? It was not to you, Jessica. It was to Giandre.
Oh my gosh, that scared me so bad. Oh man. Okay, so she wants to remain anonymous, the young lady who wrote out to us at Help a Girl Out, which again, if you have a scenario you want to write in about, go to relationshiprestore.com, click on For the Girls, and there's a form waiting for you called Help a Girl Out. Who wants to read this one?
I got this.
All right, Cece.
Okay, girl. So my sex drive is way higher than my boyfriend's. 2 years ago, at the start of our relationship, it was fresh and fun, and really, I had no complaints. But now, I find myself initiating sex every time we do the deed. Sex with him is amazing, and he does everything I need to get me where I want to go.
I know that's right.
Okay. But my issue is that I don't always want to initiate. My love language is physical touch, and while I've tried to communicate my needs, he'll fix it in the moment and forget the very next time. What can I do to effectively communicate that I'd like to be bent over most nights without him feeling like he's lacking? Okay.
Well, first of all, right. Since you got a good problem, I'm
This
jealous.
is a good problem
like,
for
I'm
you.
legit jealous. Like, this is a good problem to have, I think, in my opinion. But okay, let's unpack it. Let's unpack it. Is it a normal thing in relationships that one person's sex drive is higher than another?
Yes.
Yes.
I've never met a couple that has the same sex drive.
Like,
It's somebody
and if you do,
always
like,
is going to
that's
be.
awesome.
Someone's always going to want it more than the other.
Yeah.
I think it's just a natural thing.
And then, like, even at different times in your relationship,
Yeah.
one might want it more, and then it might switch, and then he might want it more, and then it might switch, and you might want it more. It just
Someone might like
fluctuates.
nighttime in the bed, basic normal sex. Someone might like outrageous middle of the day, random spots, wherever we are, get it in. Like
Yeah.
there's always going to be differences. Like
I think
always.
the only time that it's like on the same page is in the beginning.
The very beginning when it's still fresh and
and
everyone's
fun,
lusting
down
after
or
each other.
whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely normal, sis. Like I don't necessarily get how you feel because I'm your man and you're my husband. Does that make sense? Like roles switch.
Yes.
So, and I'm glad that you've tried to communicate this to him. And like, honestly, it's just like for me and Sean, it's always talking about it. And like, you always have to talk about sex because sex is the only thing you're supposed to be, the only thing that you do with this person that you don't do with anybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we've like, okay, when in the beginning, yes, and then we got engaged. When we were like in the baby making phase, I was on him all the time. I don't know what was going on with me. I don't know what's happening on my insides. And then I got pregnant and it like dropped. My sex drive dropped to the ground. Had the baby. Was still down here. We were still working on communication and finally communicated to me like this is we gotta work on this. Like this has to switch up. So it's something we've been talking about for years since Alina was born. So I say all this to say, like, he is the person who feels like he's always initiating sex. And although we've talked about a lot, his nugget to me is that even though that might not be the case, it feels like I don't want to have sex with him, or I'm not as into him because he initiates it more. And so again, we'll have this conversation, and I'll try to do my thing where I try starting it more, initiating it more, and then it might like fall off again. So it's just it's a constant thing that I'm always working on for our sex life, because that is something that is important in a relationship. So what are the possible reasons for someone not initiating sex?
That they're uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest reasons is some type of insecurity around sex. So first of all, my situation is just like Angela's. so Angela and I are like same.
Yeah.
In this regard, that when my husband and I first got together, we were also having sex all the time, and it was great, and it was passionate, and it was like lustful, and it was exciting.
Fun.
And then when I got pregnant, my sex drive also plummeted. I mean, after a certain point, in my like second trimester, it was like non-existent. Like I had no sex drive. I didn't want to do anything. And then after we had our daughter, it was still kind of low for a while. Yeah. And also I was very insecure within myself at that moment. Like my body was completely different. I had this baby that was on my boobie all the time. So like my body wasn't even mine anymore. It belonged to her. And then, I'm sleep deprived because she's an infant. And so when my husband would try to, like, hey, I'd be like, I just don't want to be touched. I'm touched all day long. Like, I don't want to be touched.
Tugged on.
And so that was something that we had to work through too. Like we had to have an uncomfortable conversation because he wasn't getting it as much as he wanted it, and I didn't have the desire, but that doesn't mean that I can just not do it, right? We have an agreement in our marriage that I'm gonna give him some butt, as Sean likes to say to Angela.
Yes.
So we have that agreement, and I think that's a common agreement in all marriages. Like, I'm going to be your sole partner. So what comes with that is I have to do my duty in making sure that you feel fulfilled in the ways that you need to feel fulfilled, right? So we constantly have communication around sex, and I am not good at initiating sex because my sex drive doesn't match my husband's sex drive. Right. He can have sex all day, not all day because that's tiring, and we got jobs. But
I'm sure he wouldn't mind it.
I meant he could have sex every day. Yeah. Like if I would allow him to. But we had to come up to a compromise too, because my sex drive is not like his. I don't desire to have sex Monday through Friday. Like it's not happening for me. And he understands that, and we've talked about that. And because I also know that how my husband feels when I don't initiate sex, I don't want him to feel like that because I know how I feel for him. So I can't just assume that like I'm doing all these other things he's going to see my love for him. I have to love him how he wants to be loved. I can't love him how I want to love him, right? It kind of goes back to love languages. So I'm conscious of like, okay, I'm feeling good about myself today. I had a pretty light day. I didn't have too many stressors. Let me go ahead and put something nice on and then just like surprise him. He loves that. Like he loves a good like, oh shit, it's Wednesday and I'm about to get some surprise, like he loves that. So I think that for our Miss Anonymous who wrote in, because you're on the opposite side, how have you had conversations with your man about this, about initiating? I know you say that you bring it up and he'll fix it in the moment, and then the next time it's just like he's back to his old ways. But how are you kind of staying on him and holding him accountable to your needs and your desires? Yeah. And also, like, what other creative ways can she come up with? And this is like a question for all of us. What creative ways can she come up with to to get him to start initiating more, to make him feel more comfortable about initiating sex? Like, or does he have certain stressors going on his life? Maybe does she need to pick up the slack in certain areas so that he's like,
That's a good perspective.
he has more of an openness of like, you know what, I had a good day today. My girl's doing everything she needs to be doing. I know that she wants me to initiate sex more because that's her love language. Like, let me go ahead and dick her down real quick.
What did she say? Bent over.
Bend it over.
Most nights.
Over most nights. Okay, girl.
I think it's always a good thing to like make it easy for the person. Like if you want someone to initiate, like actually tell them exactly what that looks like. Like for Dre and I, when we first got married and we had this big life change, which was, oh hey, we could have sex now. I wanted him to initiate more, but what I did was like just kiss me, because like if we French kiss, like if we make out, like that's all I need. Like that for me is like you're initiating. Like I don't need the full blown pre-party foreplay every single time. Like, you know what I mean? Like we can just get straight to it. But you can just kiss me. Like and when you make somebody aware of an issue and you give them a direct solution, that means that they don't have to think or wonder like in what way to solve the problem, then it could become easier. So for her, she says she wants to end up bent over. Do you like to start that way? Like, is it like would it be helpful if he just kissed you, or like
is it an ass slap?
Yeah, is it a grab? Is it like a certain
how you like to be?
What can he actually do to let you know? And maybe that could simplify it,
Cece's getting me
so
right now.
I don't know. I think it has a lot to do with the type of person and the type of person that they are and what makes them feel comfortable. So I would talk a little bit more to him, because obviously you've made it aware and he's aware, and he makes the change. Dre, that's not right. He makes the change. He has made the change and then kind of like starts to forget or fall off or whatnot. So maybe just simplify it, and then he can get in like a habit of doing a particular thing. But then what's interesting, and I want to get your guys' opinion on this, is then I feel like the roles for Dre and I reversed, and then he was wanting sex more than I was. Me, because I don't want to get pregnant and I'm on a pill now, and if I take my pill at a different time or I'm slightly off, I immediately think like, oh God, no, like I'm gonna try my hardest not to have sex just because I'm nervous that it could possibly happen. So I've been trying to stay away from it, and like unless Dre like is like let's get it, then I'm not initiating, because I'd rather just be safe like right now. But I know that's not good for a relationship either. Like there should be a healthy balance. And my question to you guys, and also to her, because she's mentioned that like she's always initiating, is when one person is the main initiator, as long as the person is receiving the initiating and doing the do, is it really a problem? Like, and then how do you find the balance, I guess?
Right. Apparently, yes.
It is. Yeah. And it's just because, like, for transparency purposes, like, me and Sean have this conversation a lot. Like, and I've explained to him, oh my God, you're so attractive. You're so handsome. You're so sexy. Like, I'm very happy with the package that I receive every night. Not every night, but the nights that I do receive them. I'm
not gonna like pimp myself out there once a week. No, I'm just joking.
No, I'm incredibly happy with the package that I have married, so that's not it at all. And I've tried to explain it to him, and he has done an excellent job of trying to understand where I'm coming from, knowing the stressors, knowing that I commute, knowing that our 3-year-old will not leave me alone, knowing that I'm tired, that I'm pouring myself into other children all day, that I'm a full-time business, I'm a business owner, all of the above. He knows that, and he's aware of that. So it's still, he acknowledges that, but he wants me to know that because I didn't used to initiate as much. It makes him feel like I don't want to have sex with him, or I'm not attracted to him, or I don't want his sex anymore, which is not the case.
So basically,
at
it
all.
contributes to like someone having an insecurity.
Right, exactly.
I mean, we can say the same is true. Us as women, I think that most women desire to be complimented from their man.
Yeah.
If you guys are going on date night and you got all cute, your hair's done, you put on a new dress, and your husband sees you come out and he doesn't be like, wow,
yeah,
like, wow,
that's
babe,
usually my first
great. If he's just like, okay, you ready to go? You can be like, damn,
right.
Like it's going to make you feel insecure. So imagine if you're having to pull for compliments, how that's going to make you feel if you have to pull to initiate sex.
Yes.
Sex is such an intimate thing between these two individuals that, Tana's point that she said earlier, you don't have with anybody else. So this should be a space where you feel loved the most, where you feel most secure about yourself, where you feel sexiest. And especially as the woman, if your man, who typically the men are the ones who are initiating more, because typically a man has a higher sex drive than the woman. If you're not getting that same type of love, you're going to naturally, I think, start to question, like, is it me? Is there something about me? Like, is there something that I don't know about him that is, I don't know, not trying to make assumptions. I'm just saying, is there something about him that I don't know about that I should, be made aware of? I think that those are all right. She has a right to feel how she feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for transparency purposes, Sean and I have like sex maybe 2 or 3 times a week, which I've been told is really good. When we're on trips and stuff, it's every night. It's we're doing it when we're away from the kids. But he brought up a point the other day. Because he watches the podcast faithfully, and he was like, I think you're a physical touch person. And I was like, what? No, I'm not. He was like, if I don't touch you for a week, you'll think something's wrong. And I'm like, what? Because you're so used to me initiating. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he brought that up to say, like, I want to feel that. I want to feel what you get all the time. And he was like, like he'll bring up how unfair it is that all I gotta do is rub on his chest a little bit, put my booty back on him, and it gets it started. He's like,
to Bree's point, we don't have to make it complicated here. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it easy.
Yeah.
So if that's how Angela feels comfortable initiating, I think we have to also come to an agreement about, like, what does initiation look like?
Yeah.
Because maybe he is initiating in his own way, but because
that's a good point.
Because
Cece.
it's not the way that you perceive initiation should happen. You're like, oh, he just doesn't do it.
Because it could be like maybe his initiating is by starting the night with like a nice date night, and before he gets a chance to, she's the one that's like jumping on it.
She's the one with the high sex drive.
Right.
Yeah. But also, I don't know, she might have done what I've done in the past, which is when me and Dre first got married, I was like, I'm gonna see how long it takes for him to actually make it happen. Like, I'm not going to attempt at all. Yeah. And I tested him, and it was really bad. And we talked about that. And he was like, don't ever do that. Just tell me.
You shouldn't do that. I was about to say, do not test
but
him.
She might have tried that. And actually, she's like, no, like, he actually does not do anything to initiate. But that's super important. I think that's just a deeper conversation. Because again, they talked about it. She said, I've let him know. He'll, change for a little bit, and then he reverts back to like the old way. So they've had conversations, but maybe talk deeper about, again, what the initiation looks like, so that she can be aware when it's actually happening. And then 2, how to make it easy. Like, tell him what you want him to do. That could really help as well. Like, don't just say initiate, be like, touch my neck like this, or kiss me here like that, or
and
absolutely
don't
like,
feel embarrassed
what
to
is
have
it?
that type of
conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
I like when you do such
this.
and such. I like when you touch me here. I like when we do this together. I like when you say that. I need you to do this so I can start drip, drip, dropping for you.
Exactly.
Drip, drip, dropping.
No, I mean, that's fair. It's like for me, because they're, Angela and I have talked about this in the past. We're both naturally very bashful. When but when we're in the bedroom, like, you know, when it's time to get sexy and intimate. And so, so because of that, I know personally that my husband likes me to wear lingerie. So for me, initiating isn't gonna like, it doesn't necessarily look like how it would like in a porn when like the woman is just like, it's just like, whew, you know, like it's not like that's not gonna do it for me. Like I don't feel comfortable doing that, right? But
Yes.
But for me, it's gonna be more of I'm gonna go and put something sexy on, and then
he'll take it from
and
there.
he'll take it from there.
That lets him know.
Yeah, he's
That's
like,
what I'm
oh,
saying.
okay, she's ready.
Yes.
Like, and it's that simple, you know.
And
So,
just like the
but
effort.
I only do that because I'm clear about what my husband likes and how we start our sex. You know, when we're in the moment, like he likes me to wear lingerie. So and so. If he initiates it, he's like, can you put something on for me? Right? So if I'm initiated, I'm just going to put it on.
That might be a good thing for her. Maybe it could be an understanding of like, you know, when she wants it, you put on something cute or something, and or it could be anything, but like maybe he needs to be like aware of like, oh, she wants this, and then he can initiate.
Right.
And maybe that will help.
That's a great
Because
one.
naturally, if you have a higher sex drive, it makes sense that you're going to want it more than that person. So maybe a way to balance the scale is to be like, hey, when I do this, I want you to follow up with bending me over.
Exactly.
You know,
but
like,
she got to let him know when I do this you got to follow up with this. Yeah.
I also
like
think
that.
they need to talk like from his like flip it for him. Like he might, and please men, don't kill me. He might not want to have sex every night, like, and he needs to like express that, and she needs to
they
be.
need to find a balance.
They
that
need
works.
to agree on a cadence that's okay for them too.
I like that.
Yeah.
She like he doesn't like if he feels like okay for me to make her happy I gotta bend her over every night. Like it becomes a job.
pressure,
That's if
right.
you feel pressure and you don't want to feel pressured.
Yeah.
So
Especially not with sex. Sex is like the one thing like we need to maintain this for a lifetime.
For a lifetime.
I mean, should you desire to be with this person for a lifetime, like we gotta maintain this a long time.
Right.
So we should make it fun, lighthearted, pleasurable, something that's sustainable.
Yeah.
Having sex every single
sustainable. That's the right word. They need to come to an agreement on a sustainable cadence for their relationship because it looks different from relationship to relationship. I have a coworker who she's older and her husband have agreed on Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
This is when it happens. And if we're not making it happen, then it's not happening. But that's them. That would never work for me and my husband.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That would, but they're older, so you know what I'm saying. That would never work for me and Sean. Sean would be like, I don't like that schedule thing. I don't want like, da, da, da. But I've asked him like, what is too long? He's like, if we go like a week without it, it's too long. Like barring periods and sicknesses and injury that can occur.
Yeah.
You know, like at home. If it's a normal day-to-day thing, if we go more than a week, that ain't cutting it for him. And I know that because that's the expectation. And, you know, the expectation switches when we're on vacations. That's an every night thing. We don't drop bread to be away from the kids, so it needs to happen every night. Yeah. And I'm totally fine as long as I get my sleep. That's all I want.
I know that's right. Now that's one thing I don't play with. It's like so Shane and I also had to come to an agreement, right? Because there was times where I would be because I don't sleep very well. I struggle with sleep. It's something I should probably look into more, but I suppressed it for now. So I struggle with my sleep, and like, you know, I have a 1-year-old, so sometimes she wakes up in the middle of the night, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so on nights that I'm getting real good sleep, like I'm in a deep sleep, don't you wake me up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning talking about baby.
Oh, no.
Baby. No. You... Now, my husband knows my alarm clock is set for 7:30 every single day. You better wake me up at at earliest 7:15, 7:20. Get you a nice morning quickie in.
Yeah.
Okay, don't you wake me up at no 6:30 in the morning. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be tight, and then you might get your feelings hurt. 'Cause I'm gonna be like, no, I'm just sleeping. So I also think like figuring out what works for your partner.
Yeah.
If you know your partner is a new mother and she's in a good sleep, don't be waking her up talking about, baby, you up?
Baby.
No, I'm not.
I'm asleep.
I'm not up.
That's another like good point. Like y'all gotta make it work. You gotta make it work. Like we've agreed on quickies. Like
Quickies,
if we don't make
quickies.
it like if it's been a week like and it's like Thursday at 10:30, we'll look at each other. He'll be like, "Can I get quickie in like quick?" And I'll be like, "Yes, babe."
Shane and I, and I would say this is like recent. Like I love me a good quickie.
Like a good quickie.
Because
it's satisfying.
it is satisfying. And like for me, like we could have more sex if like they're like quickies. I mean for real. Like
I don't think we even know anything
I
other than a
will
quickie.
up my cadence if we can like make them quick. I think it's like for me it's like when we want to have a long passionate sex session every single time. I'm listen.
Cece, what's long?
Girl, an hour, 45 minutes. It starts,
An hour? 30 minutes is long.
What?
I was gonna say 30 minutes is like still wow, like yeah, long, but an hour? Oh, you good.
An hour? I'm not having sex for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, for us, I think I gotta ask him.
That's too much.
Like, okay, like, so sometimes I have looked at the clock, like, not frequently. So let me explain. So Sean gets up at 5.
Explain this.
I feel so bad because he is in the back room with my child right now.
Explain it.
Let me explain. So he has to get up at 5, and he's supposed to wake me up to go to the gym. Like that is our agreement. So we try to be in the bed by 9:30. You know, we try to be asleep by 10:30. You need your 8 hours. Honey.
Yeah, I feel you.
So if we get in there and we're like, damn, it's been a few days, you know what I mean? And we start canoodling around 9:45.
Canoodling?
Yeah, it needs to be wrapped up.
Canoodling.
It needs to be wrapped up, you know what I'm saying, by 10:30, 10:45 for us to get up and have an effective workout. You know what I'm saying? But if we
Why would
canoodle,
it take that long?
Right,
That's
like
a
what?
long
So
time.
that's a long time.
So
I'm glad you agree with me because there's times where I'm like, is this?
he's gonna shoot me. So he has said like so Sean will come. He will come quick. But he'll pull it out and he'll start over because he doesn't want the feeling to go away.
Oh my God, my husband does the same thing. I think that's a man thing.
I don't want it to go away. And I'm like, okay.
Like wait. Hold on. Just give me a few more minutes. Like babe, you did it. Like, no.
Because I don't want the feeling to go away. Okay.
Well, I have no complaints because Dre never did that to me. We are efficient, okay? We get in and get out.
I like that,
Like,
Dre.
30 minutes. I don't think we've ever.
The cadence could go up with the cadence could go up with some more quickies.
Yes.
Like we could probably hit the five time a week mark if
Listen.
we threw in a few quickies because it's never like 5 minutes, y'all.
No,
unless we agreed this is gonna be a quickie.
No, I mean
the crazy thing is
you have to agree it's gonna be a quickie.
And the
Like,
crazy
you have
thing
7
is
minutes.
when we agree that it's gonna be a quickie, it started taking him longer. I'll be like, damn, he'll be like, damn, let's switch it up right quick. Let me get to the one that I know is gonna do it. For him, it's the reverse cowgirl jump. He likes that. I like it though too, because she said I like it too.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
For me, the beauty with my husband is he's always gonna get me off first. Like it's never not like he's not gonna take care of me first.
At least he's not selfish.
He is not a selfish man. But he knows if I've gotten there to that point first, it's very primed for his package.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I feel like we went down a different hole.
I think we went off topic.
Hilarious.
But also good points. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Thank you for being so candid, Angela.
So what I'm saying, I just to pack it up a little bit for you, sweetheart, is maybe you need to be okay. You need to compromise with my man, okay? He sounds like he can't keep up with you, sweetie. And that's okay. Like, and you have a good problem. So it sounds like he can't keep up with you. So agree maybe on some quickies. Maybe he doesn't need to do all the things that get you what you want.
Yeah.
Maybe he can agree on 2 things that get you there, instead of all the things. Agree that maybe you're not gonna be bent over most nights for him to initiate as much as you would like.
Or even initially, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like this is a something that has been a topic of discussion in your relationship for 2 years now.
Yeah.
So you can't expect for someone to just like overnight like make a change. I think you really have to massage into this, right? Because this sex is something that can make people very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So the more you push, he could retract even more.
Yeah, especially
right?
a man, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So I think like I like all of the tips we've already given about quickies, like being very direct and like what are you looking for?
Right.
What do you want? How do you want him to initiate?
Yeah.
How often do you want him to initiate? Those are all really, really good things.
Yeah.
Maybe he's more of like a like less physical connection, more mental connection. Maybe he's one of those people who like he needs to feel connected more from a mindset standpoint. Like maybe, and this is something that she'll find out by asking him, but there are a lot of people who they don't necessarily want to have sex if they're not super connected emotionally.
I think those people are called
and mentally.
sapiopath.
Yes, yeah.
Sapiopath.
And
So-
like they
so-
get turned on
by intellectual-
intellectual connection. So he might be one of those people that like he would initiate if you guys were in the middle of like really connecting and having like a deep conversation. Like maybe that's what gets him there versus
Right.
like the physical stuff, which could be why he's not initiating, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't want you,
Right.
or that he's not going to receive that
Yeah.
thing.
I think
But that's something to
important.
talk about and to find out, because
Yeah.
people are very different in that way.
And I
Yeah.
think it's also important for her to understand, because I always try to get Sean to understand this. It doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't want you.
Yeah.
Like you gotta somehow we gotta hopefully get your brain around that, because maybe that's why or maybe you're just genuinely pissed because you just want to be bent over. Like,
Well, I mean, I don't think nobody and everybody wants to feel desired, and
Yeah.
that's what initiating is you feeling chosen, you
Yes.
feeling wanted. So
Right.
that's just a normal thing.
Yeah.
But by nature, a lot of us are better at it and do it without needing to practice.
Yep.
But
Yep.
you know, so yeah, I mean, I think all of the things that we said should be very helpful for her. Have that conversation and figure out what it is, get
Girl,
some
tell
things
me
in
what
order,
what's
get
your
on the
diet
same
like.
page.
I'm trying to get like her.
I know, because I'm
You know, actually,
diet.
fun fact. After I had
Vitamins are you taking?
I had Capri, I was like, this isn't normal. Like, why do I have like no sex drive?
Right.
So like, I was like, I just started doing some research, and maybe I'll follow back on a different episode because I don't have the specific vitamins and herbs, but there are some herbs that you can take apparently that really boost up your sex drive.
Yeah.
So
and it worked.
Churn that in his
I didn't.
smoothie.
I didn't. I didn't actually use them because I realized that I don't think I just don't have a sex drive. I think I just gave birth, and and I'm just in a
And
different.
that's tragic, and my body.
whole trauma to your body.
You know,
Yeah.
so it was a little bit different, but for anyone out there that is going through some troubles with like their sex drive, you know, I will circle back and get these vitamins because I already looked them up.
And she needs to mix them in his smoothie.
You know,
coffee.
just crush them up, just
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Cadoodling.
No,
as long as you're not allergic.
That was a joke.
I was saying that.
That was a joke.
I was like, what could happen terribly wrong? Like he could be allergic, not allergic.
Do not do that. That's
Like,
gotta
yeah.
be. That's definitely a joke.
Someone's gonna like,
but
you
yes, good luck, sis. Good luck, and more power to you. Send me your vitamins so I can know what you got.
Well, thanks so much, you guys, for tuning in. Before we go, I do want to make a quick note / announcement. So this is the last outfits that we will be coordinating on our own. We have our good friend Mimi coming through, our stylist. That's going to get us together so we can look good as a unit each episode. So we're excited. The next episode you guys see after this one, we're gonna look like we showed up together.
Step it up a little bit, ladies.
Starting to run out of jeans. was like, I ain't got no more options.
We were running out of clothes and colors. Oh my gosh, Cece put me in pink today. That was fun.
Okay, but she looked so cute.
It looked so good on her.
So cute.
I'm still not buying anything pink, but it was cute. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys go to the podcast, leave us a 5-star review, tell us your thoughts about the podcast and the YouTube, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at Relationship Restored, at Cece Costin, at Angela Hanna, at Brianna Aponte, and make sure you write in and tell us what things you need advice on at For the Girls, at Relationship Restored, tab For the Girls, and Help a Girl Out form. Until next time.
Ta-ta.